How you doing, folks? Back again with another one. Sorry it took so long, but unfortunately, your boy caught the COVID. Back, fully back to 100%, and feeling a lot better. Thanks for the worry and concern, but your boy's doing all right. So today, we're going to be talking about a game that most of you probably haven't thought about in like a decade or more. A game that a lot of people downplayed just off of it being called a so-called GTA clone. Talking about True Crime Streets of LA, which is actually a lot better than you remember it being. Now, True Crime Streets of LA, of course, it did have some problems. It did have some issues. The main problem was the sense of scale in relation to your character and just the overall graphics. Now, at the time, for a game that came out, I believe in 2003, the graphics weren't bad. A lot of people were thinking that, oh, well, it's just Grand Theft Auto, but you play as a cop. It's a fair, I guess you could say it's a fair comparison, but it is not the same. True Crime Streets of LA was essentially a action drama movie made into a video game. And based off of that, the story fit, and the fact that just looking at this all-star cast of just everybody that got to be in this game. You got Russell Wong, who plays Nick Kane, the main character that he played as. Christopher Walken, who plays George. Gary Oldman, who plays Rocky, one of the main villains. Michelle Rodriguez, who's Rosie Velasco, your partner. Who else? CCH Pounder, who plays Chief Wanda Parks. Michael Madsen, who you may know from Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs. He plays Don Rafferty, a friend of your character's father who betrayed him, but ends up helping you out later on in the game. Of course, James Hong, who, in case you don't know him, is this gentleman here. And yeah, you've definitely seen him in a bunch of stuff. Miko, who, in case you also don't know him, his real name is Koto Matsu, who usually goes by Miko, and it's this gentleman here who I'm sure you've seen in so many movies. Who else do we have? Keone Young, who plays Big Chong. In case you don't know Keone Young, because unfortunately a lot of our Asian actors don't get a whole bunch of representation, so Keone Young is this gentleman here who you've probably seen in movies such as, I want to say he was Mr. Kim in, Dude, Where's My Car? You know, when they went through with their suits with the custom alterations and everything, he was the guy that actually did the tailor work and everything. And of course, you gotta remember, Snoop Dogg is also in this game, because you can't have a game about the West Coast without Snoop Dogg being in it. Now, a big issue with a lot of people that were trying to downplay the fact that this game was, doing what it was doing, and just considering it a GTA clone because it was an open world sandbox style game. Now, the issue with that is that you can't consider this game really a GTA clone when it was doing things that GTA wasn't doing in the first place. And a lot of people go, well, the map size and all that in comparison, like, well, if you really want to compare those, True Crime Streets of LA has a 240 square mile map. Okay, 240 miles. It's one of the most accurate recreations and representations of Los Angeles in any video game or work of fiction. Now, compare a 240 square mile map to any of the GTA games. All of the GTA games from Grand Theft Auto 3 and we're counting just the main games, not these spin-off games like Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, Chinatown Wars, anything like that. We're not counting those, just the main games, just Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5. Okay, we're only counting those when we're talking about the comparison of the maps, even though we're only talking about those in comparison with the maps because the maps are the same for the other games. That's why. Now, with all of the GTA games from number 3 on to our most current generation. Altogether, okay, if you put every single one of those maps together, they only come up to 56.3 square miles. Okay, so based on just map size alone, True Crime Streets of LA has beaten them hands down. And another thing, the Deadeye shooting that is in Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2 and everything, that in case you maybe didn't notice, seems to have been taken directly from this game, from Activision and Luxaflux, and the idea seemed to have been taken from them and implemented into the Deadeye system, because the precision targeting that you use as Nick Kane is, basically exactly the same as the Deadeye system. It, zooms in a little bit, slows down so you can have that precision targeting, and then you can make whether a kill shot or a neutralizing shot if you'd like to. So there's definitely some things that True Crime get right that the gaming industry is still using to this day. And let's also not forget that True Crime had a bit of a banger of a soundtrack. Especially, I'm sure most of us remember the theme song of the game True Crime by Fish Online. Now, unfortunately, Luxaflux, the company that brought this game to us through Activision, is now defunct. So most likely there will not be another game after the second one, True Crime Streets of New York, which didn't get as good a reception as the first game. But I never played it myself. I heard decent things. Most of what I heard was that it was okay, but not as good as the first True Crime. And then with most people that talk about True Crime, like, oh, well, it's cool, but it's not as good as the Grand Theft Auto series. Now there was some issues with gameplay bugs and glitches, map fall through, things like that, just random bugs and stuff. But of course, just like Grand Theft Auto games and any open world game where you have such an expansive world, there's going to be some bugs and glitches. But overall, True Crime Streets of LA is not a bad game whatsoever. Okay, there are certain parts that took a more fantastical turn, as there are parts where you end up fighting dragons and like fire demons or something. So it does take a bit of a turn from just the grounded reality of seeing the LA action cop movie, but it works. All of it works. And overall, I would give True Crime Streets of LA a 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10. Because it really wasn't a bad game, especially for the time that it came out. So, guys, today I just wanted to keep this one short and sweet. I know it's been a little while since I dropped a video. And I want to say thanks to all you guys that have been watching, supporting, dropping comments, likes, and all that stuff. Really appreciate it. It helps me, helps the channel out. It's dope. So, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz, and all the rest of the YouTubers saying all that stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.